I wish I had. Those 4 words are among the most painful a person can say at the end of their life. Not because life is short, but because it was long enough, and still something essential was missed. What if you could hear the most common regrets people have at the very end, and make sure they don't become yours? What if it's not too late to change the ending of your story, starting today? This video could be that moment. In our later years, we naturally reflect more. We ask ourselves questions like, did I live well? Did I love enough? Did I choose the right things to care about? When researchers, nurses, and hospice workers speak with people in their final weeks, they hear recurring themes: words of sadness, unfinished dreams, relationships left broken, or time wasted on things that never truly mattered. But the beauty of reflection is that it offers a second chance, not for the past, but for today. This video will walk you through 6 of the most common regrets seniors share on their deathbed, and more importantly, show you how to avoid them. Each one comes with a story, a lesson, and a gentle but powerful reminder: you are still here, and that means something can still change. Stay with me until the end. The last regret is the one almost nobody expects, yet nearly everyone feels. Regret number 1. I wish I hadn't worried so much. It sounds simple, but for many seniors, this is the number 1 regret they voice near the end. I wasted so many years worrying about things that never even happened. Meet Helen, 78. For decades, she worried about her children. Would they make the right choices, stay healthy, be happy? She worried about money, even when she had enough. She worried about what others thought, about aging, about being alone. And now, as she reflects, she realizes none of those worries changed anything, but they did steal her sleep, her energy, and some of her joy. On the other hand, there's Ruth, also 78. She learned early on that worry is like a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but it gets you nowhere. So instead, she practiced daily letting go. She asked, "Can I control this?" If yes, she acted. If no, she released it. The difference? Helen's days were filled with anxiety. Ruth's were filled with presence. Science backs this up. Chronic worry is linked to higher stress hormones, inflammation, poor sleep, and even cognitive decline. Your body carries the weight of your mind, especially as you age. How to avoid this regret? Build a worry window. Set aside 15 minutes a day to think about concerns, then move on. Practice daily grounding, walks, breathing, journaling. When a thought loops, ask, is this helping me or hurting me? The truth is, most of what we fear never comes true. But the time we spend fearing it, that's real, and we don't get it back. Don't let your final words be, "I wish I had worried less." Let them be, "I lived lighter, I trusted more, I made peace with the unknown." Regret number 2, I wish I had stayed true to myself. This regret is heartbreaking, because it comes not from something you did, but something you didn't. Many seniors say this in their final days. I lived the life others expected of me, not the one I truly wanted. They played safe. They made choices based on fear, approval, or obligation, and never gave themselves permission to dream freely. Meet Harold. He always wanted to paint. As a boy, he would sketch for hours, but his father said, "You can't make a living from art." So Harold became a bank manager, a responsible, quiet life. Now at 84, Harold admits, "I never touched a brush again. I wonder what kind of painter I could have become." Then there's Eva. She also loved art, but at 62, she joined a local class. She started painting for herself, not for money, At 75, she had her first small exhibit at a community center. The difference? Harold waited for permission. Eva gave it to herself. How to avoid this regret? Ask, what would I do if no one judged me? Explore lost passions: writing, music, gardening, travel, teaching. Let go of the idea that it's too late. Joy is always on time. You don't need to change careers or move across the world. You just need to make small choices that reflect your truth, not someone else's. Because the only person who lives your life is you. Regret number 3. I wish I hadn't worked so much. This one comes up a lot, especially from men, but also from women who gave their whole lives to providing and caretaking. I missed so many moments chasing a paycheck. I thought it was for them, but all they wanted was me. Think of John. He was a hard worker, always the first one in and last to leave. He built a successful business, provided for his family, paid for college, bought a nice house. But when asked what he remembers most about his 40s and 50s, he goes silent. He was too busy to notice the little things. Now meet Raymond. He also worked, but he set firm boundaries. No calls after dinner. He took vacations, showed up at his daughter's recitals, said no to urgent meetings on weekends. He earned less, but lived more. The difference isn't about money, it's about presence. How to avoid this regret? If you're retired, stop glorifying busy. Make peace with rest. If you're still working, define your limits. Your time is sacred. Prioritize who you're becoming over what you're achieving. You'll never regret the hours spent watching the sunset with someone you love. But you might regret the hours spent at a desk when life was waiting outside. No one on their deathbed says, "I wish I had worked more." But many say, "I wish I had lived while I had the chance." Regret number 4. I wish I had spoken my heart more often. So many seniors admit this with a heavy sigh. I kept too much inside. I didn't say what I felt when it mattered. Whether it was love, pain, apology, or truth, they swallowed their words out of fear, pride, or the hope that someday would come. But someday often never does. Take Mary. She loved a man in her 30s but never told him. She said, "I didn't think I was good enough, so I waited," and then he moved away. Years passed. She married, had children, and lived a good life. But part of her still wonders, what if I had said something? Now meet Tom. He's not perfect, but he made a vow in his 60s. I will say what I mean, with kindness, but without delay. He tells his children he's proud of them. He thanks his wife for even small things. He apologizes when he's wrong. He writes letters to old friends. The result? He carries less weight because he leaves fewer things unsaid. Science confirms this. Unspoken emotions can create internal stress, weaken immunity, and even contribute to heart problems. Your heart needs expression just as much as it needs rest. How to avoid this? Regret. Tell people you love them, even if it feels awkward. Don't wait for perfect timing. Say what matters while you can. If something is on your heart, speak it, write it, share it. Words you keep inside become stones you carry. Let them go, and feel yourself become lighter. Regret number 5. I wish I had stayed in touch with friends. This one sneaks up quietly, until it's too late. Many seniors say, I lost touch with people who mattered. Life got busy, and suddenly years passed. It's not just about having company. It's about having connection. Old friends hold pieces of your story that no one else does. They knew you before the titles, the setbacks, the wrinkles. Think of Linda. She had 3 close friends from her 20s. They used to call themselves the Wild Four. But then came work, kids, moves. She kept saying, I'll call them soon. And then one of them passed away. Suddenly, soon became never. Now, meet Gloria. Every Sunday she writes one short message to a friend, a cousin, an old neighbor. Not always long, just thinking of you, hope you're well. And guess what? She says those messages keep her spirit young. Studies show that social connection is one of the top predictors of longevity, even stronger than diet or exercise. People who stay connected live longer, stay sharper, and feel more fulfilled. How to avoid this regret? Schedule one short call or message each week. Reconnect with someone you miss. Don't overthink it. Remember, it's not about the past. It's about still caring now. The people who once mattered probably still do. Reach out, even if it's been years. You'll both be glad you did. Regret number 6. I wish I had let myself be happier. This one surprises many people, but it's one of the most common regrets shared by people near the end of life. I didn't realize. Happiness is a choice, and I kept waiting for it instead of choosing it. For decades, some seniors lived with the belief that joy had to be earned. After the work was done, the bills were paid, the problem solved. But life is never that neat. There's always another problem, another task, another storm. Meet Margaret. She often said, "I'll enjoy life when things calm down." But the calm never quite came. So she kept her guard up, her smile small, her laughter limited. Then there's Celia. She also had struggles, health scares, money worries, heartbreak. But she practiced daily joy, fresh flowers at breakfast, dancing while making soup, laughing out loud at silly memories, letting herself feel free even when life was imperfect. The difference? Margaret postponed joy. Celia practiced it. And now, in their 80s, Celia feels lighter. Margaret wishes she had given herself permission sooner. Researchers call this emotional flexibility, the ability to find and feel joy even during challenges. It protects the brain, reduces stress hormones, and increases resilience. Joy is not a reward, it's fuel. How to avoid this regret? Allow joy in small doses. Music, nature, movement. Laugh without guilt. Even on hard days, give yourself permission to be happy, even when life isn't perfect. Don't wait for happiness to arrive like a visitor. Invite it in, and let it stay. Transition to final thoughts. Now you've heard the 6 regrets most commonly shared by seniors nearing the end of life. And perhaps you've recognized one or more in your own story. That's not a reason to feel ashamed. That's your invitation to change the path forward, because these regrets aren't final. They're reminders. They're signals from the future, gently saying, you still have time. Choose differently. Live lighter. In the final part of this video, we'll reflect on these truths, how to carry them forward, and how to live without needing to say, I wish, ever again. Final thoughts, reflection, and CTA. Let's take one final breath and revisit the 6 regrets we've explored, not to feel sad, but to feel awake. The 6 regrets most seniors share at the end of life. I wish I hadn't worried so much. You can lighten the load right now by choosing peace over panic. I wish I had stayed true to myself. It's never too late to listen to your inner voice. I wish I hadn't worked so much. Your presence is more valuable than your productivity. I wish I had spoken my heart. The words you say now can heal years of silence. I wish I had stayed in touch. A single message can rebuild a bridge that felt lost. I wish I had let myself be happier. Joy isn't something to earn. It's something to allow. Let this be your reminder. Your story is still being written. And no matter how many chapters are behind you, there is so much meaning left in the pages ahead. You don't need a dramatic transformation. You don't need to fix everything all at once. You just need to notice what matters and begin again. Start small. A phone call, a walk without rushing, a deep breath before reacting, a simple "I love you," a smile you give yourself in the mirror. The truth is, most people don't regret failing. They regret not trying, not loving more, not living more. So let's not wait until our final days to realize what matters most. Let's realize it now. Call to action. If this video spoke to your heart, even just one part of it, I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below. Which of these regrets do you want to avoid or have already overcome? Your story might help someone else make a change today. And if you found this video meaningful, please consider giving it a like and sharing it with someone you care about. Subscribe to Longevity Talks for more gentle, powerful insights on aging well, living fully, and embracing the beauty of this season of life.